today I will attempt to create this architectural masterpiece, and also it's based on this comment. So if you have a suggestion for the next few episodes, please let me know in the comments. Welcome to day 17 of 30 scripts in 30 days. Before we start, I would like to say thank you so much for everyone who is supporting my channel, and if you are interested to have any of the serious files, you will find them on my Patreon shop and the link in the description. And please subscribe because it will help my channel grow and also it will help me create more content. Let's start. So the form is really interesting, but the pattern and the panels are really interesting because it's not that easy to create organic panels that follows the surface exactly, and also they will be split somehow randomly or following a specific logic. It's not like a straightforward a script, so it will need a little bit of work, but this will be very interesting. And also we will add a little bit of randomization, so it's not fully random. You can see that all the panels closer to this edge are like fully panels, and then when it comes closer to the building, some of them start to blend with the landscape and the greenery, so this will be more interesting. And also the glass itself is going to be something to work on. It will be really interesting to create this kind of shape, and also a little bit of the steps themselves. Today I'm not going to focus a lot on the building itself, although the building is really interesting, but all of these other details are going to be more interesting to work on. So let's try to do that. So I searched a little bit to find a top view for this building, but I couldn't. So I will try to improvise a little bit, and I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to go to Rhino, and then probably paste it here somehow, just something like this. And then I'm going to just like stretch it a little bit, like pretend that this is kind of a top view. I'm not going to go deeper into this. And then I'm going to the top view. Actually, let's go back a little bit, and then let's lower this a little bit and do as we have done with the previous video. And just I'm going to change object layer and just lock it so it doesn't affect anything I'm doing. And then I'm going to the top view, and let's try to draw something. So I'm going to create a actually, let's create something from scratch. So I'm going to draw something in here. Interested to work in this, something like this. Actually, let's go to the shaded, so it's something like that. And then I'm going to try to like create something like this. Maybe even try to push this a little bit, and then I'm going to flatten this a little bit and push it, and then I'm not going to focus a lot on that. I'm just going to create something extremely fast, so something like this. And I believe in this case this will go a little bit like this, and then it will exit. So when you look at this, it's kind of closer to what we want to do, probably, so it's not like extreme. I believe this is too like intense, so I'm going to just go to the material and just lower the opacity a little bit. And after that, I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to mirror it somewhere here, just something like really fast. And I'm going to maybe make it something like this. And maybe in this case, yeah, I believe right like those needs to go all the way to here, maybe just something really quick. And I'm going to move this somewhere here. I believe this is yeah, I'm not interested again to create like a very detailed element. It's just going to be a quick representation, that's it. Right now it looks similar, so once I just bridge those, it will be something like that. And we might just tweak it a little bit, so depends on your approach. And that's great for now. Let's move on. I believe after that, let's create this element right here, and it's kind of intersecting with the building. So maybe right now I'll just copy this somehow and maybe rotate it or mirror it. Let's probably rotate. Actually, let's mirror, so everything is intersecting in a better way. And then delete this, and then I'm going to add it here, and probably just move these. Actually, I'm going to rotate this, and I'm going to rotate this, and let's try to make sure they are flat. Yes, they are, but I believe in this case I might just drag this a little bit and then like do something like this and then do something like this, so it's kind of like that. And probably in this case I will try to bring those a little bit to here, and maybe those two are too far away, so I'm going to push them to here. And right now I'm going to select those, just flatten them in this direction probably, and then crease. And I believe I need to crease those two with those two, so I'm going to crease those. And yes, kind of created what I needed to create. So let's just adjust a few more things, and I'm going to go to the wireframe just to see if yeah, this is very far away from what I wanted to do, probably something like this. And for now I'm going to just commit to that. So let's see what we are doing in this view. After that, I want to do something about like right now this is a little bit higher, and this is kind of intersecting with it. So I'm going to do something similar to this. So I'm going to probably select this whole thing and this whole face and raise it. I'm not sure how much, but let's just randomly raise it and probably just lift it a little bit so it's kind of going like this direction. And I want the other one to go probably something before I do that, let's split it, because I believe the other one is a little bit partially flat and then start to transition into these steps. So I'm going to add a curve in the middle. So I'm going to select this ring, and then I'm going to insert sub D edge, make sure it's proportional, and I'm going to say 0.5, so it's basically in the middle. And after that, I'm going to select maybe this face, and I'm going to raise it, this edge, sorry, and I'm going to raise it something like this. So it's kind of making this one, and then I'm going to either crease this one, so it's creating this kind of transition between the elements, or not creasing it and add a soft crease instead. So it's 50, something like that. So it depends if you want it fully creased or not. So that's um, good so far. If you look at this, you can see that in here we have this kind of elevated, let's say, landscape. So I will try to do that. So let's go back to Rhino, and if you look at it from the top view, I'm going to the top again, and I believe right now we can just let's say I'm going to just adjust this one. So I'm going to grab it a little bit to here, and this one to here. Yeah, just something like this. And after that, I'm going to create, let's grab all of these curves, and I'm going to extrude. And let's see what we are extruding. Right now we are extruding in the N direction, but I want to extrude in the V direction, which is kind of create like this kind of offset for all of these curves, which is kind of good. Let's look at it from the top view for now. So yes, it's kind of what we are looking for, but some of these vertices are very far away, so I'm going to just try to push them somewhere like closer to where they should be, so something like this. And I'm going to adjust them real quick. Okay, again, this is not very accurate. It's just a quick representation of what we want to do, so it's something really fast. And then I'm going to extract those. I think maybe I should just like flatten this before I do that, and just flatten the other side just to make sure everything is flat. And then I'm going to select all of these, select like this face. This is called face loop, and I'm going to select the whole face like this, and I'm going to extract it. And then for now I'm going to select all of them, and then I'm going to Gamba relocate and just flatten it for now, and then I'm going to raise only probably this one, because in here if you look at this, it's kind of all flat on the ground, and then like this is going up, so maybe only the edge, the interior edge is going to be up. So probably I'm going to raise this, I'm going to move it from here to here probably, and then I'm going to adjust those two vertices because I feel like they are like somehow on this level kind of. So it's coming from here and then going all the way up to here, so it's something like this. After that comes the flat edge in here, so I believe right now I can just go back to here and go to the top and just select like this edge and this edge, and then double click on all of them, and then I'm going to extrude and flatten and probably push this a little bit to here. So I should have something similar to this. Maybe in this case I can just try to adjust those so it's not like very like entwined or like intersecting or anything. Maybe this one can come a little bit to here, those might go actually let's try to do them this way. This will be a little bit to here and this kind of, so it's not like destroying anything. I believe right now this might be good or not. Let's try to avoid any kind of clashing like this. So for now I'm going to keep them this way. This is great, and I believe this also maybe we should extrude them or extract them. Let's see. I believe they are like in here they are creased, which is good. And then I'm interested to create this kind of like I'm interested to separate this, so let's find another view for it. So if you look at this view, let's, yeah, I think it's here. If you look at this, this is kind of the walkway, and then the surface comes probably from the side a little bit and then grows all the way up, and after that it goes down and blend back to uh, the surface. So I believe this is kind of becoming some like this is elevated a little bit and then this will come from the side. So maybe in this case we should have something like that. So if you look at this, if we created something in here on the top and then like created something, let's say that it will be all the way to here, so it's very close to this edge, but then it will appear in here. Make sure you are working proportionally in this case, and then if I selected all of these, probably with yes, I'm going to keep like this is the first element in here, and then I'm going to remove those, and then I'm going to slide. Actually, I'm going to remove those two, and then I'm going to slide. So if I slide those, so it would be like very something like this, and then I'm going to select this and crease it. So this will start to appear somewhere here and then grow to become the roof, and then somehow it will blend back to become the landscape. But I believe right now we should separate both, so I'm going to select this and then separate this. After that, I'm interested to create this kind of leveled landscape, so I'm going to select I'm going to here, I'm going to select this, and I'm going to select this ring, and I'm going to add an insert edge, or this one, which is inserts at the edge, yes, and I'm going to make sure it's proportional. I'm going to add something in the middle, and I'm going to double click on it and add again, make sure it's both sides, and then I will add something like this, and then click on this one and this one, and then add again. So right now I have like 8 probably, and then I'm going to select any one of them and then ring. So I'm going to select all and I'm going to crease, so everything is creased. And if you look in here, you will notice that some of them are, let's look in here, some of them are a little bit sharp, and they will start to have like this kind of pattern, and some of them are fluid and getting this kind of organic cross section, and then at some areas they get again a little bit sharp. So it depends. So for now I'm going to try to mimic that. And also in here, if you look at this image, it's a little bit stepped in this side probably. So maybe we can try to do that. So I'm going to select this first, and I'm going to select the opposite side. For now I'm going to make both sides similar. I'm not going to like mimic or try to copy the exact building. Okay, so right now you can see that we got this effect, which is kind of interesting. And I believe in this case we can just select one and ignore one, like skip one of them, and then raise this a little bit. So when you do that, when you go to the rendered, you can see that you got this effect, which is kind of interesting. But if you select those and then remove the crease on only those, then you will get this kind of sharpness. If we hide this for a second, you will get this kind of sharpness, and then smooth, and then sharp again. So you can create your own effect with that. You can manipulate it however you want. So this is kind of interesting. After that, I believe that this walkway is going to be probably at this level. So I will see if I can make something interesting out of it. So let's go back to here. And right now I'm going to select this vertex. And let's go to the shade. It will be better to see what you are doing. And I'm going to grab it just right here. And then I'm going to grab this vertex from here to here. So I should have something like this, but then I will flatten this part. So I'm going to grab this and then Gumby relocate, and then just flatten this. And let's see. So right now we should have some kind of a platform in this zone, which is kind of, when you look in here, it's this will be cut after I finish this, but then you will have this kind of area, and this will go right from here, and then we will have this. I believe this one needs to go a little bit like further, so I'm going to grab this right to here, and then this will be cut at some area, and this, like, we will need to have some kind of um, something in here to flatten this part. So let me see what I can do about this. Okay, I believe that this part needs to be at least 3, so I'm going to add one more. I'm going to add one, let's add 2 maybe. Actually, let's add 1, but I'm going to say 0.33, so it's going to be like third of the way, and then I'm going to eliminate this. I'm going to remove it, remove the creasiness and eliminate it. And this one is going to be the sharp, and this one is going to be also sharp, but at this point this part is going to go up, so I'm going to move it. Actually, I'm going to move it somewhere here, and then I'm going to move it vertically from this point to this point. So this part is kind of flat, and like it intersects a little bit with this, I believe. And then when it cuts, it will like we can fix all of that. Maybe in this case we can raise this just a little bit, or we can like maybe select this and make it go to Gumby relocate and just select any point and just flatten it with this, so it's kind of intersecting with it. Let's look at it in the rendered. So we should have something like this, which is kind of the platform that we want to create. Let's look at this again, and let's see a different. Yes, it's kind of something like this. I believe in this case we can just start to work on this part. So right now I'm going to copy this. I'm going to select, go back to here, and I'm going to copy this like below. So I'm going to say probably a meter or something. I'm not going to make it like extreme. And then I'm going to select all of these and all of these edges, and I'm going to bridge them. And right now I'm interested to make the bridge. I'm interested to make the bridge 2. Actually, let's make it 1, keep it 1 for now, and then I'm going to crease so everything is sharp like this. And probably in this case, I'm going to select some of these edges and just slide them a little bit. So I'm going to slide this. I believe right now I'm not interested to see this image. Yeah, let's hide it for now so everything is more clearer. And I'm going to slide this, make sure it's proportional, and just slide it inward a little bit. So you will have this kind of like effect, or like something similar to what you see in the image, which if you look closely, you can have this kind of like slope or something. And maybe even if you want, you can lower it down a little bit, so you will have like a thicker edge in this zone. And maybe in this case you can select the whole thing and just, probably in this case I'm going to just elevate it a little bit so it's thinner a little bit, and it fades into a thinner edge, but then this part is going to be a little bit more. And probably in this case I'm going to slide it a little bit back just to make it even intense. So it's something like this. I believe in this case I want to create this part right here, which is lower than this roof, but also a little bit smaller, because right now in here it's a little bit wider and bigger a little bit. So maybe in this case I'm going to select all of these. Let's first, I'm going to move this up. So I'm not sure how much. Let's select it right here, and then I'm going to move it just something like this. So let's say 1 in this case. And then I'm going to try to raise all of these also. So maybe in this case I'm going to just elevate this point, maybe not all of them. So I'm going to elevate this point and I'm going to push it up by 1. So it's going to be something like this probably. And I'm going to do the same for the other side. So I'm going to select all of these and I'm going to raise them 1. And then I'm going to select this point and I'm going to raise it 1. So it's something like this. So it's kind of like moving beneath it, not like directly right there. And I believe right now maybe we can just slide this a little bit so it's not as like wide. So I might just slide it proportionally to the middle. So it's something like this. So it starts thinner and then go all the way up. And maybe in this case we can raise this one up. So in this case maybe I should just slide this also, and then I'm going to raise both of them. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to select this, and let's see if I raise them up something like that. So it's kind of getting somewhere in here, which is it's going to host the stairs, and these are going to host the steps that we want to create. Maybe in this case we can create the steps, so we can just select this and go to create a ring, something like that. And then I'm going to make it to the middle, and then from the middle to another middle, and then I'm going to select those and just grab something like this. So we will have as many as those, which is kind of interesting actually. These are more, so maybe you should try to do that. I'm going to undo in this case. I'm one more, and then I'm going to select these and delete them, and I'm going to select this and this, and then I'm going to select this and this, and double click in the middle in like this, and I'm going to bridge and I'm going to crease. But in this case I will try to create like some bigger number, so maybe 12 or something that is probably like even number, so something like that. And then I'm going to select all of them and then like ring all, and I'm going to crease, so all of them are creased. And probably I'm going to skip, like select one and skip one, so something like this. And yes, probably actually let's try to select the vertices instead. So I'm going to select these vertices, like also select one and skip one, something like this. So I should have those, and probably I'm going to move them vertically from here to here. So right now I should have something like that maybe. So it started to create this, but it's not like seatings yet. So I believe right now I'm going to select those, all of them, all of these like in the middle, like all of these, and maybe even all of these, and I'm just going to move them from here to the inside. I'm going to move them on the near, like make sure I'm moving them in the curve itself. So when you look at them, you will have this kind of like levels or seatings or something. And I'm going to do the same for the other side, so I'm going to just do it quickly. Yes, something like this, which is good. You can add as many steps as you want, but you get the idea. The most important thing is the idea of all of this right now, which is good. And then I want to have like the lower part, which if you look in here, you can see that it's hovering a little bit. So it's yes, it's intersecting with the steps, but it's hovering above them. So I'm going to select maybe all of these faces. So I'm going to select something like this, and I'm going to copy it somewhere in here. So I'm going to say, let's say 50 or any number. And then I'm going to select this one and this one, and I'm going to extract and delete. This will separate the upper and the lower. So right now I don't need this. I'm only interested in the lower one. And the lower one, I'm going to, let's say that it will start, somewhere in here. So I'm going to select those, like those faces, and I'm going to Gumbo relocate and just pick any like flat point in here. And then I'm going to say like flat, like not flatten it, but scale it in the Z direction. I'm going to say 0.5. And right now let's lower this and see where it is. So I'm going to say this is going to be lowered 50. And right now it's kind of okay. If you want, you can just lower it a little bit more. So for now I'm going to lower it manually and just lower this a little bit, something like this. So it's kind of moving with that, which is good. And then I want to like create, if we go back to here, you can see that there is like a connection. Let me try to find the other view. Maybe this is like a little bit inside, and then the glass will happen, and the glass is kind of vertical. So maybe we can start to do that, but let's add thickness first to this. So I'm going to select this and just copy it a little bit. So let's say 1 or something. 1 is too much. Let's say 0.5. And then I'm going to uh, just bridge. In this case, I want this to be only 1 with crease, and that's perfect. And then I'm going to add something in here. So I'm going to select this ring and this ring. Okay, and then I'm going to add a curve. So are these curves moving with each other? Yes, that's perfect. So I'm going to grab something closer to here, which is good, because right now I'm going to select those and I'm going to select those, something like this, and I'm going to crease. So right now I should have something like this, which is good. If we look, probably I have like this kind of edge which is around. Maybe in this case I'm going to slide it. Hopefully it will make sense. Yes, if all of them is moving in this direction, then I'm going to say negative 0.5. So it's even closer to the edge, something like this, which is good, I believe. Maybe not. Maybe I'm going to just select those two and I'm going to slide them, but I'm going to slide them inward. So it's something like this because I want the glass in here to be thicker, so it's not like bad. After that, I want to create the glass in here and add thickness to this. So let's see how we can do that. Right now, I'm going to separate this part. So I'm going to add a copy. Actually, let's separate it first and then add a copy. Let's say 0.5. So it's something like this. And then I'm going to connect it. So I'm going to select those and then bridge. Make sure it's join and crease. And then select probably all of these edges and all of these edges and just crease them. And then maybe we can try to, right now this is the top of this. So I'm going to copy it. Probably 50 or something, and then I'm going to select these ones, and then I'm going to lower them a little bit. I'm not sure how much, but let's just make some room for the glass, and then I'm going to move it back. So I'm going to say move it 50. So I should have, it actually needs to be lowered a little bit more. So I'm going to select it in here, and then I'm going to lower it a little bit more. So it's something like this. So I believe right now maybe these two faces needs to be adjusted. So right now I'm going to select those and just push them a little bit toward this side, so they are like fully intersecting with this kind of. And maybe even if we want, we can raise this up, because I feel like it's a little bit sloped in the design. Let me check. I'm not 100% sure, but it feels like it's kind of sloped a little bit. So I'm going to try to make it like that. Maybe even select both of them and just raise this side a little bit up. So right now the glass in this side will start from here and go all the way back to the other side. And I'm not 100% sure about this. Let's try to see what we can do about this, because right now we have like this kind of platform. So let's see how we can do this. Probably I'm going to do it when I turn everything into solids and start to cut everything. So for now, I'm going to keep this element right here. And let's see. Let's try to bring everything into solids. So before I do that, I want to just select those two and isolate for now, because I want to create another two curves which are going to be closer to here. So I'm going to get the ring in the up one and the ring in the down one, and then I'm going to add like something very close to the edge, and I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to select this one and just slide it proportionally inside a little bit more, so I can create this kind of zigzag curtains later. And I'm going to select those and those and just grease, so everything stays exactly where it should be. And then I believe maybe we can add, if we look in here, we can add a little bit of greenery, like a fill at least to cover this area. So I'm going to probably get something like from here and all the way to here. Like I'm going to copy these and I'm going to do something like this. Let's say 50. So this is kind of a duplication. And right now, if I extruded this, if I extruded this somewhere, like I will face this problem, and this problem is fixable, but I need to fix this part first. So I'm going to create a face in here that will be, let's say I'm going to create this face. I'm going to create a cell just between those three, and I'm going to join it. First I'm going to copy it vertically, so I'm going to copy this from here to here, and I'm going to join this. For now I'm going to join it smoothly, so it will be something like that. And then I'm going to select smoothly or crease, whatever, and then I'm going to just flatten this, and I'm going to ignore these creases. So I should have something like this, which is good. And then I'm going to crease those and crease those, and probably in this case I'm going to like bring this a little bit down and just ignore the first element and the last element, and I'm going to bridge and keep it creased, so everything is going to look like that. And then I'm going to lower this to 50, so I should have probably something like this. This is just a filler. I'm not interested to like make things complex, because right now we are going to take some time to create the patterns and everything. But for now I'm going to focus a little bit more on something very interesting, which is creating making this solid and creating all the cuts, because the cuts are going to be a little bit difficult. But first I'm going to lower this because I feel like it's too high, so I'm going to move it vertically from here to here, and this one also vertically from here to here. And maybe even I'm going to just like make like select those and just move them a little bit, and probably select all of these faces. I'm going to select this edge, which is going to select everything, but and then I'm going to remove those. So right now I'm only selecting these, and I'm just going to extrude them a little bit, and this will create a crease in here. Then I will select this crease and make it like this. So then I will have like a simple kind of landscape that is moving in the side, hopefully. And hopefully this is good. Maybe in this case we should raise this part, like I'm going to select this, and let's go to the shaded. I believe in this case this whole part needs to go a little bit up to match whatever is happening in here. So I'm going to isolate those two so we can figure out how to elevate something like this. Maybe in this case I should select all of these. Actually, let's go a step back, and I'm going to, yes, I think this one is too high because it should go beneath this area. So I'm going to isolate, and I'm going to flatten this. I believe right now these two needs to be flattened, so I'm going to Gump relocate, and then I'm going to flatten this and flatten this. Yes, this makes much more sense right now. So if I'm going like this, I should have something like this. But in this case, maybe we should like select those edges and bring them in here. And this is just roughly, I'm just creating something like this, which is going to look interesting in the overall shape. That's great. After that, I want to select all of this and just create two NURBS. But in this case, I don't want to delete anything. These are all sub D, and I'm interested to keep them sub D. But in here, I'm going to make sure that probably the faces are backed, so this will be great. And then the options, delete, no, okay, and let's see. So right now I should have something like this, and I'm going to select all the sub D, and then I'm going to add them to another layer. So I'm going to call this sub D, and I'm going to add them in here, a change object layer, and then I'm going to add them in here. I'm not interested to have this kind of color. Let's for now keep it black. And that's great, because right now I can control all of these curves and surfaces, and everything will be just fine. Before I do that, I need to select this and start cutting. Right now I need to cut it with this, so I'm going to isolate. I'm going to select this one and isolate, and I need to get this curve right here. So I'm going to grab this and flatten it, and once I flatten it, I can cut with it. But before if it's a 3D curve, then I cannot cut, but if it's flat, then I can cut. I will have this show up. So that's great, because right now I can simply hide this and then just slap this in here, and I will have this removed, which is great. Probably, maybe not all of it, so I might try to extract this, or let's explode all of this. I'm going to explode. So right now this is isolated. I don't want to cut this one. I want to keep it as it is, and I'm going to cut only those. So I should have something like this, and right now I'm going to ignore those or delete them. So that's great. And let's see what else needs to be cut. So I'm going to show, and that's kind of good, kind of similar to what we want to create. I believe those also needs to be cut. So I'm going to do the same for those, but I'm going to cut them with this, and I'm going to say isolate. I'm going to select this curve right here. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to grab it and flatten it, and then I'm going to hide this, and I'm going to cut with this. So I should have like this big cut, and I'm going to delete this. I don't need it. And let's see what we have done. So kind of we have this kind of steps, and we have these steps in here. And right now I believe we need just to add the curves, or like the zigzag curtains. So to do that, I'm going to select these, and I'm going to select these, which is exactly what I need. And for now I need to cut them at some area. So to cut them, I might use a curve. Let's see what kind of curve we can use. I believe we can cut them with a curve like this. So I'm going to copy all of these somewhere in here. Let's say 50, and then I'm going to flatten this, and I'm going to grab it somewhere in here, and I'm going to grab one of these curves and just like copy it. And I'm not interested in those. I'm going to just cut with those. So right now I should have those two, which are exactly what I'm looking for. Right now I'm not interested to have these. Maybe in this case we can just loft them. So if I said loft and add like a solid surface in here, and add another solid surface in here, so this would be good. Maybe add another one in the back if you are interested, and then add another one in here. So probably something like this, and then maybe um, if you want you can just select all of these surfaces and join them, and join those. And I'm not sure if cap will be a good idea. Actually it worked. So yeah, you can cap, or you can select all of these edges and create a surface out of them. But right now all I care about is to have something like this, which is good. And right now I have this kind of front facade, which I want to start working on it in Grasshopper to create this kind of zigzag facade or zigzag curtains. So let's see how can we do that. So I'm going to grab those two surfaces in here. So I'm going to say set multiple surfaces, and I'm going to treat them individually. So right now, if I said I'm going to graft basically, and then I'm going to get the discontinuity. So this will work. Actually, let's add a brep. So if they are multiple surfaces, you will treat them exactly the same. So I'm going to say something like this. And even if those are multiple surfaces, but with the same fluidity, like they have a cut at some point, and even if those are multiple edges or multiple surfaces, or a poly surface, basically, you can treat them equally. So I'm going to try to work with that instead. I'm going to like graft, and I'm going to shatter this. So right now if I shatter this, I will have something like basically four curves per each. And let me try to do something with those. So I'm going to just add like a curve in here. Let's just make it like this, and I'm going to like cut those. I'm going to grab it somewhere here and cut again, and then I'm going to say uh, like select those and join them. So once I join, I should have like a poly surface and a poly surface. It's just I want to show you what this will look like, because even after this, when I join them, this will stay for. That's the whole point, because it will cut. You can, if I go to end points, you can see that it will ignore any, like if these are continuing with each other, it will continue. That's the whole point. So that's great. And right now I don't need this, but we can actually, let's just make them into one surfaces again and just keep them simple, so nothing else will happen. And all I care about is to grab the curves. So if I said list item, maybe the items would be different, or maybe not. Yes, actually it's different, because right now it's selecting this in here and it's selecting the other one in here. So I don't want that. That's not exactly what I'm looking for. And also in this case I'm going to say sort them, sort those. And after that I'm going to sort them based on the length, basically. So in this case I'm going to ignore the first the smallest two. So I'm going to start with the big element. So I'm going to say list item. So right now it will select first thing is going to be the tallest item, and then the second one is going to be the second tallest, which is the interior one, and that's good. But I need all of them to be, I'm going to merge, okay, and I need those two to be flipped. Because let me show you something. If I go to point on curve, and add this. If I move those, like all of them are moving on their own direction, and it's basically not a good thing. But if I flip all of them, flip the curves, okay, and I will select one of these curves. I'm going to say list item in here, probably in here even, but right now I'm going to say flatten. So right now it will select this only, and I'm going to use it as a reference for those, and then I'm going to add those to here. So right now they all should be moving in the same direction, which exactly what I'm looking for, because when I divide them or create something interesting, I need that exact movement. So this is important. Perfect. After that, I want to create a, let's say, I want to create that zigzag effect. So how can we do that? First of all, I'm going to select to go list item for the first one, which is the tallest one in here. And I'm going to say divide, divide those points. And I'm going to add like a very huge number. So I'm going to say 30 probably, or something bigger. Right now 10 is very low. Actually, I'm going to say 50. For now, I'm going to say 50. And I want the other one as well to have its own number. So I'm going to say give me another 50 for this one, which is the back. And then I'm going to say dispatch. So if I say dispatch and then I'm going to dispatch those, then those points right here, right now you can see that I'm selecting one from here, and then I'm going to dispatch those, and I'm going to select right now the first in here. So basically I'm selecting like one and ignoring one, and I believe in this case maybe actually it looks good. Yes, it looks good. So that's great. Right now I need to wave between them. So I'm going to select the first one from here and then the first one from here, and then we will move on. So I'm going to wave, WEA, and I'm going to add those and add those. And let's see if I did a polyline. I should have something like this. Actually, we should reverse. Yeah, I need to reverse those. So I'm going to reverse those. Yes, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And that's great. And then I'm going to select this and just flatten those and loft. And this is good because right now I have this kind of curtain effect, which is exactly what I'm looking for. You can increase this number a little bit more, so we can add. For now, I'm interested to make it even numbers, so it's going to start from the inside and then end into the inside, so it looks good, or start from the outside and end in the outside. It depends. In this case, you might just reverse those, and it will start from the outside. Yeah, it if you can deal with this part however you want, but this is good. And then I'm going to probably add a curtain. Let me see how it looks in here. I believe it looks clean. It doesn't have curtains, probably. Let me try to see this. Yeah, it looks clean. Yeah, I don't think we will need to add curtains or any like frames or anything. So for now, I'm going to keep it clean, and then bake. Yes, okay. And that's great. I'm going to maybe give this a glass effect. So I'm going to get a material, and I'm going to add a probably plastic and assign to objects, and just add a little bit of transparency and maybe dark gray. And let's look at it in the rendered. I'm going to just hide this. Yeah, I think for now maybe you can hide those like surface edges. Yes, I believe this is good. Maybe you can hide also these. Yeah, that's great. We can control the transparency and everything related to that. In here, maybe the transparency if it's too much or something, or maybe the color, probably something like this. Yeah, for now I'm going to keep it like that, and then I'm going to group this and lower it to 50. And yes, kind of we already like created this side, which is great with the seatings kind of. And then I'm going to create the other one exactly the same. So I'm going to select, let's go back to the shaded, and I'm going to select those two, like this and this. and I'm going to select this edge probably, and then I'm going to grab those in here, like copy. Actually, I'm going to do it again just to move in a specific dimension, because I don't want to move in a random dimension and then to move it from point to point. Sometimes it's annoying or difficult, or because you have too many points. So I will move this, copy it, of course, with 50, something like this, and then we will do the same in here. I'm going to flatten and just bring it up a little bit and cut. So right now I should have like, let me see, did I cut? Probably not. I believe right now I cut. Yes, that's good. And maybe even like split those. I'm going to split those. Are they split? Let me split this one with this one, and then this one with this one. So I don't need those. And I'm going to do the same with this. I'm going to split this one with this one, and then I'm going to split this one with this one. So right now I don't need those. And then you can just loft those. So basically a simple loft and another loft in here. And after that, another loft in here and another loft. Let me just grab this. Yeah, another loft in here. So that's great. And then just a quick join and cap. So yes, that's perfect. And then I'm going to copy this, Control C, Control V, and let's hope everything is the same. So if I added those two, and I'm going to say set multiple periods, let's look at the final result. So yes, it looks perfect. You can simply, and it looks, it's starting from the outside. Maybe you can increase this number or decrease it or like whatever. And then I'm going to bake. Yes, okay, it doesn't matter. It's one object. And then I'm going to match this one with this one, which is good. And then I'm going to probably make a group out of this and lower it to 50 and just delete this one, which is great. So let's look at this. Let's hide everything in here and save. That's good. And right now this is great. Now we start to add all of these other patterns, which is the most interesting part of the tutorial today. Because to make this kind of interesting part, I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to select this and let's explode. I'm going to isolate this for a second, and I'm going to explode all of these. So everything is exploded, and then I'm going to click on Control and then click on the top one. So I eliminated it from the selection, and I'm going to say join. So everything else is joined except this one, which I'm going to apply the pattern to it, or the thing that I want to work on. So that's great. After that, I will bring this part as a perib. So I'm going to say set one perib, and I'm going to tell you later why. But right now, because I want to apply the script for the lower ones, and the lower ones are multiple surfaces, not a single surface. So I'm going to do a deconstruct perib for them. But for now, I want to copy the script, so it will be just simple, and I'm going to say parametric subdivide for those, and I'm going to see. I'm going to say that this, I'm going to say I'm going to add a range. Yes, and I'm going to add this range to here. And right now, let's hide this, all of them, and let's hide this. And I'm going to say 250. So it's a very, very big number, maybe even 300. It depends. Like for now, I'm going to say like 300. Okay, and after that, I'm going to copy this. And right now, I'm not interested to have this big number. Right now, maybe 50. 50 is going to be, actually 50 is a lot, so let's try to make it 30. So I'll have like these kind of stripes, but it's not too much. And the reason I'm having this amount of panels is that I'm going to grab like a random group of them, and then I'm going to join it together. So I will have like a single panel, but it's going to start differently in each one. But it's not like fully random. So what I want to do is parametric subdivide. Actually, I'm going to say partition list, and I'm going to grab a partition list from one of them. So I'm going to say the list is going to be 7, probably 7 elements, which it should be good. And then to understand what I have done, I'm going to grab a tree branch, and I believe I have a lot of branches right here, so I have like 900. So let's try 500, 9,000, I'm sorry. So let's try 500 or something, and let's see where we are. So if I zoom to this, and right now it's moving in this direction, which is not a good idea. I want them to move on the other direction. So before I do that, I need to flip the matrix. So I'm going to first of all grab those and divide them. So everything is divided, but I want it to be divided in 30. So right now, if I selected those and zoom, right now I have this, which is good. And I'm going to flip the matrix right now. So once I flip the matrix in here and add this instead, you will see that right now I'm selecting like a whole row, which is good. So if I flatten this, and then I'm going to make another one in here, and instead of using 30, I'm going to use this like small number, and I'm going to add this to the tree instead. Let's see what we have done. So if I zoom, I can see that I'm selecting like a horizontal group, not a vertical group. And even this number, when it moves like to something bigger in the middle, yes, something like this, you can see the whole group that we can later select. And that's great. After that, I want to after separating them, I want to join them. So I'm going to say join BRIP, and right now they are all like 7 elements, or the last one is 5, so I don't care. But for now, I'm going to join this, and I'm going to grab the discontinuity. So this will be something like that, which is kind of where the elements will end. And before I move on to this, let's try to shatter all of these curves, and let's see if this will work just fine. Not exactly. So I believe right now we need to get the edge beat and grab all of these edges and simply join them. And after that, I'm going to lock the solver, and I'm going to join those two here and those two here. And let's see if this is working. Let's preview this off, and then I'm going to unlock. I believe right now this is working. And to see it even more, let's hide this. And you can see the new curves that you have created, which is really great. And right now I'm going to grab the tallest curves of them. So I'm going to select the list item, and I'm going to right now you can they are kind of sorted, but just in case they are not sorted exactly however I want, I'm going to sort them. So I'm going to select to sort them based on the length. I'm going to say length just right here. I'm going to add the length. I'm going to select those, and then I'm going to reverse and just I'm going to loft in here. But before I loft, I'm going to flip one of these curves, flip the curve. And when you have like a huge amount of data like this, it's going to take you a lot of time to loft. I'm not sure why, because once you add only a single element, it takes a lot of time to calculate. So before you connect anything to loft, just merge and make sure like it's something like this. And then once you have all the tools, which is good, and then you can add them to the loft, and everything will be fine. But if you only connected one element to the loft, at least in my own experience, it takes a lot of time, especially with a huge data structure like this. I'm not sure why. It's like it doesn't even loft after all. So this is great, but maybe if you want to control the number like in here, this kind of 7, let's try to make another number. So I believe if we try to create 9, like these numbers might not be a good idea to make 9. Let's try. Yeah, 9 is good, but not perfect. It feels like it's straight. Maybe let's try 5. I believe 5 is going to be like actual straight. Yes, that's a lot because it's these numbers are dividable by 5. So that's the trick. You need a number that is not divisible by like these numbers are not divisible by it, at least both. So like 5 is not good. Maybe 7. Let's try 7. Yeah, 7 makes sense. Maybe let's try 11. 11 will be, something interesting and more random, probably something like this. But it depends again on the length of the panel that you are creating. So 11 is too long, so maybe not 11. Maybe 11 might be not the best option, or maybe it is. It depends again. So maybe for now 11. Actually, 11 might be too tall, so it's like taking all the space. So maybe in this case I'll try 5. 5 we established that's not good. Let's try 6. No, 7. I think 7 is the magical number in this case. So I'm going to grab 7 and then keep it as it is, and let's move on to the next part of this script. So right now, once I flatten this, I should have like a single all of these elements. And right now, let's go to here and see like what can we do about the randomization. Because if you notice closely, let's try to find another view. Maybe like the closest elements to the edges are not fully are almost fully like a single color, and then the randomization happen with the color in the middle. So maybe we should try to do that. I'm going to grab this and create a custom preview for all of them, and I'm going to try to create a gradient, something like this, and I'm going to select this preset, but in this case I'm going to try to like make this a little bit like very, something like that, not like extremely dark. So it's something like this. And right now I'm going to work on the indices. So if I'm working on the indices, so if I'm going to create list indices to all of them, and I'm going to grab the maximum and minimum. So I'm going to say bounds, and the bounds list. First of all, this is going to be all the numbers, and I'm going to grab the bounds, and the bounds are going to be deconstructed to maximum and minimum. So these are going to be here, and I'm going to move those a little bit to here, probably those. And let's see what we can do about this. So I'm going to add this in here, and let's hide those, and let's see. Let's look at them in the rendered. So right now that's not good, probably. Let's try to jitter things a little bit. So I'm going to say jitter, and I'm going to jitter those and add them to here. So things are a little bit more random, but it depends on the randomization that I'm looking for. So right now it's too random, so that's not exactly what I'm looking for. Let's try to make this 0.5 instead, because the jitter itself is 1. So right now it's a little bit less, so you can see that the randomization is like less. It's moving from one direction to the other, and it's more random in the middle. So that's great, but I believe I need the numbers in in here to have a different approach. I'm not sure. Let's say, let's try to add a graph mapper to those. But I believe right now if I added a graph mapper to these numbers and just try to make it Actually, let's try to get a list. Um, let me check. So I'm going to create a range in here, and I'm going to add the list length, this length to here, and I'm going to create x minus 1, just like that. And then I'm going to grab a, let me just grab a sine curve, and let's see if we figured out a way to grab this. So I'm going to say this will be 2, and I'm going to multiply those numbers probably. So let's say that I'm going to multiply those numbers by these. I'm pretty sure that this is messed up. Actually, it's working. That's brilliant, because right now I can, let's make this a little bit darker, and right now we can control the jitter a little bit more. Yes, that makes way much more sense, because it's starting from here, and it's going like a little bit whiter, and then like more random in the middle. I think this number, if it's lower, actually let's make this like more, give it more flexibility. So if it's a little bit something like that, and then it goes back to being like white again at the edge. So this is good, maybe. Maybe this number this color needs to be a little bit more darker, so I will have like more flexibility of colors. So it's something like this. Maybe the stripes needs to be thinner. Let me check. And also probably give it like some kind of edges around. So I'm going to create a parametric subdivisions for those. So I'm going to grab those. I'm going to create parametric subdivide, and I'm going to add a range for all of them. Actually, I'm going to add my own subdivision. So I have this one, and this one is basically if I added a number, it will be like cut from the number, and then 1 minus the same number. So it's not like a big cluster, but I use it a lot. So if I said 0.15, so the result is going to be something like this. So if I added this to here and I added this to here, basically I'm cutting from this. So I can grab a similar one and add it to here, and then I'm going to like lower one of these numbers. So I believe this one might needs to be a little bit lower. So it's something like probably something like this. And this number is going to be like very low. So probably 0.01, even 0.005 or something like very low. And maybe this one will be like 0.1 is the maximum. So this number is like very thin, even something like this, probably something like this. And then I'm going to flatten those, and I'm going to lock the solver to the solver for a second. I'm going to add those to here, add those to here, and then I'm going to make something like this. So let's see. Yes, this is way much better, and I'm interested to increase the stripes. I know this will hurt a little bit, but probably the 30 needs to be 50. So let's try that instead. And yeah, actually it's way much better, because right now like I can see all of these movements, which are good. And the stripes themselves, maybe if you feel like they are taller, so try to reduce this number to something else, but try to make things not dividable. So for example, if I want this to be 4, and like I want the stripes to be less, smaller, okay, but then maybe this one will be 51. Let's try 51. So it's hopefully it will create something interesting. Actually, it's not good. Let's try this one. Let's try to make this like 299, like something a little bit different. So maybe yes, this makes sense a lot, because right now you have smaller panels, but the smaller panels are moving in a very very interesting pattern or very interesting shape, which is good. After that, let's organize things a little bit, because I feel like this is messy and not me at all. So let's just organize things. And yes, that's great. Let's just move those up here. And then let's organize those a little bit. So right now this should be here, and those like a little bit to here, something like this. Yes, that's great. And yeah, that's this part is really working just fine. I'm going to bake those as a group, and let's wait for a few seconds until it's finished all the baking, and that's good. I'm going to hide this, and right now I'm going to just move this like 10 meters or something, just because I don't want to mess up anything. And I'm going to select this one, which is the reference, and I'm going to add it to a hidden group, so or a hidden layer. So I'm going to go to here, and then I'm going to create a hidden, something like this, and just bring those to here, like do something like this, and just change object layer, and I'm going to bring those back to where they should be. So yeah, this is great. This is like very very great. Maybe if you feel like these are too much, you can shrink them, but for now I'm more than happy with the results. Now let's move on to this. I believe this one, if we somehow copied all of this, and I believe it will take a little bit of time. Let's lower all of this and just add. Before we do that, I don't want to hurt my computer, so I'm going to just disable one of the elements, and then I'm going to add this set one prep, and let's see what we are doing. So I'm going to add this to this hidden layer, change object layer, and then I'm going to go back to here and check what I have done. So let's see all the curves that we are creating, and maybe even select all of these. I want to see how the subdivisions are creating. That's great, because right now I can lower this amount. This amount is too much, so I'm going to say 21 instead. Yes, and I'm going to increase this number. This number in this case I need it to be a lot bigger, so let's say 9, and maybe even 13, something like, actually 13 is not a good number. Let's try 15. I want to have maybe 17. I want to have a bigger number, yes, but like I believe this is uh, not closer, because these are too big. Let's try to create a bigger number. So instead, I'm going to lower this to 11 instead. So probably this, and then I'm going to increase this. Let's actually reduce this a little bit, because I feel like these are too much. So I'm going to say maybe 99, just like, yeah, I believe this kind of number is going to make much more sense. And I'm going to like lower this a little bit, but not like extremely low. So maybe something like this probably, or maybe taller a little bit. I'm not sure. Let's increase this to 149, so it's like a different number, and then maybe increase this a little bit. I believe right now this is great, and then I'm going to disable all of this right now, and I'm going to enable these, and let's see the parametric subdivision that we have created. Right now these I want them to be a little bit smaller, so I'm going to say 1, so it's like very very thin, and I'm going to add this to be like a very very thin number, so it's something like this. I believe this is better than the original. And let's see, right now this is a little bit different, because I believe then the pattern itself is going to be yes, I want it to be random, but some of the first few elements have some greenery, and then the other one will be just a pattern between like gray and white. So let's figure this out. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to just organize things a little bit, and I want to split some of the series in here and give it a green color, and then the rest of the series will have this exact number. But how can we do that? Right now I have these, and let's say that I'm going to jitter like this number right here, and then I'm going to let's do something like this, and I'm going to enable this, and I'm going to say cull index, and right now I have these amount of numbers which are like all of these amount of numbers. So I'm going to tween between two numbers, and the tweening is going to be between the list indices. So I'm going to have the maximum and minimum in this case. So I'm going to just push those a little bit more, and I'm going to get the bounds of these, and then I'm going to deconstruct the domain. So it's something like this, and then I'm going to tween between those numbers, and then I'm going to say 0.15 or whatever, and I'm going to cull a series of numbers. So I'm going to say ser. So this is going through here. So what I have done is basically create a list of number that I'm going to cull from here. So basically I'm removing some of the elements, and the more I increase this number, the more I remove a little bit more, and it's going to actually be better if we increase this a little bit. So a little bit more randomization, but it's more green toward this. So this is really important, and some of them even in the middle are a little bit getting like more greenery or something. So that's great. And after that, I'm going to create, so these are going to be up somewhere here. And then I'm going to grab another like list item, and all of the elements that I culled, I'm going to grab. So I'm going to grab those and with these. So right now I either have this or have this, like this or this, which is great. And then I'm going to apply, if I go to enable those, right now all of these I'm going to apply this to them, which is great. Let's lower this to be in here, like not very high. So right now I have those, which are great. And then I might just grab a custom preview in this case, and I'm going to add it to this right here, and then just make it a green. So I'm going to swatch and add a some kind of form of green element. So just something like this, depends, and just add those. And let's see what we have done. Let's preview of all of these, and let's enable this preview on, sorry. And then I can't see anything. Sometimes these does not work very well in the rendered view. So let's go to the shaded and see what you have done. I believe these are really well. So these are kind of great. And after that, I believe we can just bake all of this. So I'm going to just simply bake, yes, okay. And then I'm going to bake, yes, okay. So right now I should have something like this, which is going to be really great, I believe. So you can control it however you want. I don't want to spend much time like trying to create or control something like this a lot. But right now is the tricky part, because we want to grab all of these like thin stripes and try to apply the script to them. But you have multiple options. Option one is to grab them one by one and just apply the script to them, and this will be actually in this case, let's check probably in some different views. Yes, some of them have this kind of randomization with the greenery, so you can copy the script multiple times and apply to them. I don't think it would be a good idea to apply multiple in the same one because we have flatten in here. And if you have a flatten in this in your whole script, then you can apply your script to one element. Because if you have a flatten and you have multiple elements, then this will ruin it. But right now maybe we can just apply to one element at a time, so we can just copy this and just move it somewhere here, and then I'm going to select this and just set one brep, and I'm going to hide it in here, change object layer, and let's go to the rendered or the shaded, and let's see what you have done. So I'm going to just preview this on, so I should have something like this. And by the way, I want to tell you something about this which is really important. If you have a surface that has been cut, you need to rebuild it somehow. So right now you need to grab this and just let's say grab all of the curves. So I'm going to say edge beer, which is all of these in here, and I'm going to say, let's say edge surface list item, and I'm going to grab all of these surfaces. I'm going to say 1 2 3 4, sorry, like all the way to 3. I'm going to say edge surface. So I'm going to basically kind of rebuild the whole thing, and then I'm going to apply this to here. So right now you are working on this, moving from here to all the way to here. Right now I believe the greenery is more towards the upper or the lower. I believe it's kind of toward the lower, so what we are doing is great. And right now we can just move this to here and then apply this multiple times. So we can just hide this and then grab this and bake. Yes, okay. And this bake. Yes, okay. And right now you can apply this multiple times. So right now all I want to do is simply to grab like maybe this one and just do the exact same thing. So I'm going to repeat this process, so I will speed it. I believe in this case you can see that it's kind of upside down, or the U and the V direction is not working very well. So there's a trick in here. This one is starting from 0, so I'm going to say 1 instead, and let's see if this will fix it. Right now it's upside down, so maybe let's try to reverse. So it's better. It's going, the greenery is down, I believe. So let's just check on the rendered. Yes, the greenery is down. So I'm going to make this like that. In this case, this one is just, I'm glad it happened, because this might happen when you are creating your own version of this, which is great. Right now we can just hide this and then bake. Yes, okay. And I'm going to continue. I believe right now this is great. You can see all the different colors and all the different patterns and elements. Maybe in this case we can just change those to green, because in the design they are green, and also those I'm going to change them to green. So all of these elements are going to here, and I'm going to just go all the way to here and just select this, assign to objects. So right now you can see that we have all of these kind of flowing greeneries, and maybe this one also. I'm going to add this one, assigned to object. I believe in this case there's like a lot of closeness. I'm not interested in that. And maybe, like, let's try to find a better greenery, something a little bit like darker, but it's not like very shiny or anything. So it's something like this. And maybe in this case we can try to create. I believe right now you can just apply the concept of the patterns in here. Maybe we can let's try to do that. Let's grab this one and then isolate. I'm going to isolate, and I'm going to do the same that I did with the other one. So I'm going to explode, and then I'm going to eliminate this top one, and then I'm going to say join. So right now I have this one. I'm going to grab this first one, and I'm going to say Control C, Control V, and let's wait a little bit and let's add it to somewhere here. And I'm going to add this one, set one beat up, and I'm going to let's hide it in here. So I'm going to say change object layer, and I'm going to show everything, and let's see how this will look like. So let's enable this, preview it on. So this is actually working in a similar approach, and I hope this is good so far. So I'm going to just bake this and say yes and okay. And the design, by the way, is like it have a lot of elements, and it have a lot of patterns, and like it's basically endless. So you can create whatever you want with the design. You can add as many panels, as many entrances, as many elements. But the idea is that I wanted to like explain how you can create this kind of randomization, but it's more controlled randomization, and also how you can create it again in here. And by the way, just one more information. Remember, in when we created the towers, the parametric sub-D towers, there was something really important that I explained, which is the sine wave. The sine wave, when it goes from the 0 to the 1, it's from low to high. But then when it goes from 1 to 2, it's go back to low. So this is why this one is 2, because when it goes from 0 to 1, the numbers are from or the colors in this case are going to from white to black. But then when I go to 2, this number is going from white to black to white. That's why I added this part. It's important, but it's really blending very well with the elements, or with the panels, or like I believe it's really good. And you can create as much information or as much elements from this as you want. So thank you so much for watching today, and let me know if you have any interesting suggestions. Let me know in the comments, and let me know your opinion about this, because I'm trying to give you as many information as possible, but I don't want the tutorials to be very long. It's not really good to have like very complex tutorial and it's very long. I don't want that. But it's sometimes I have to explain information in a detailed way, which is sometimes it takes time, unfortunately, but I'm trying. So thank you so much. And you know where to find the file, of course, on my Patreon shop. So if you are interested and also want to support my mission in this channel, you can also visit my Patreon and collect all your favorite scripts. And please don't forget to subscribe, and it will help a lot to watch the tutorials, because I need all the watching hours to get monetized. So please consider that. And thank you so much, and see you in the next episode.